Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good night. It's 9 p.m. here in Ireland. Fayute, my Irish friends. Today is Wednesday, 23rd of November 2022. And the topic is the power of love. It's a wonderful topic, and I'm happy to share the discussion today with all these friends here. And let's them to introduce themselves. So, good evening, Elsa. How are you?
I'm well, and thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone here, Charles, Nadja, Silvia, my friends by heart, my brothers and sisters. And I am so happy, really, because I am in Brazil now. The first live that I'm broadcasting with you now from Brazil, and will, of course, continuing every Wednesday from Brazil. And my heart is full of love and gratitude for everything that happens in our life. When we have love in our hearts, we will be a better person, perhaps one day. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, Miss Gibbons.
Hello, good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here, is to have Elsa back after a couple of weeks and to see everyone and Nadja as well, that you don't see her that often. And today we're going to talk about love, love in the true sense of the word, which is the greatest magic in the universe. So it's a very good topic. Welcome to everyone, and let's hope we all enjoyed today. Boa tarde a todos, um grande prazer estar com vocês de novo, com a Elsa novamente, lá do Brasil, e a Nádia também. E hoje nós vamos falar sobre amor, que é uma mágica, a maior mágica do universo. Então, espero que todos apreciamos e temos uma boa reunião. Boa tarde.
Labas, Nadja.
Labas, labas vakaras, laba diena, labas rytas, labai malonu čia pabūti su jumis, labai ačiū, dėkoju nuoširdžiai, nes mes šiandien kalbėsime apie meilės galią, apie atleidimą ir užmiršimą. Tai tikiuosi, kad jums bus labai įdomu ir mes turime daug apie ką kalbėti, ne? Šiandien. Thank you very much for all of you who are here today. And as we mentioned before, we're going to talk about love and the power of love. And I'm sure we have a lot today to mention, to share. And I came here in pink, so the color of love. Not the passion love, but the love, the eternal love, maybe. See you next.
Bonsoir, Charles.
Bonsoir Stevan, bonsoir à tous. Très heureux d'être à nouveau parmi vous ce soir pour parler de ce sujet de l'amour avec un grand A. Et voilà, donc des esprits sont venus nous rappeler ce que c'est vraiment, puis on va essayer de partager un peu avec vous. Hello, good evening. Happy to be here again with all of you. Today again with Elsa from Brazil, with Nadja from Lithuania, Silvia and Stevan, of course. Very happy that the team is complete again. And we will try to explain you a little bit today about what is love.
Great. L'amour. This is something inspire us. We need that. So let's start with our video. I'll put it here.
Center in Vancouver, British Columbia. They wanted to know, is it really true that helping others, loving your neighbor, makes a difference? And does it make a difference in the workplace? So the owner of this huge mall got together with the various managers of these big stores. And he said, why don't you give your employees 2 hours off a week? Pay them, okay? Don't dock their pay, but actually pay them to go out and do the most creative, loving thing they can in the neighborhood for people who are needy. So these store managers agreed to do that. They did it for 6 weeks. And then, interestingly enough, afterwards, the business in the shopping center went up by 14%. Customers felt more love, more kindness, more consideration from all of these employees. And worker retention went up because the employees felt pride in their companies. My company isn't just selling stuff, but my company is a company of love. In these kinds of management systems, you take time to celebrate people's accomplishments in life, celebrate the benchmarks in their life, the things that are happening in their families. Celebration is a manifestation of love. It's an affirmation, it's a gratitude for the lives of the people around you. Compassion is important. Compassion also is an expression of love. You've got to have compassion for the people in the workplace. Mirth, a little bit of humor, is an expression of love, actually. And so it helps to have some lightness in the workplace, so it's not just all heavy and hard and shadowy. But absolutely, we can develop that notion of Cahill Gibran, that work should be love made visible. We can create environments like that.
What do you want?
Okay. So sorry for my interruption here on the image. So let me read for you. Always when we don't know what to say, if you record, if you look assistance from a manual, we will always find something. Always. And today, his assistance is on the book Living Spring, chapter 159. The chapter name is With Love. Love, and just as mud can never offend the light, the offense can never touch you. You will know that misery is the fruit of ignorance, and thus you will help victims of wrongfulness, finding in them your brothers and sisters in need of support and understanding. You will learn to listen without disgust, even if crime reaches your ear. And you will help your adversary even when you feel offended, because forgiveness combined with complete forgetfulness for the blows you have received will arise spontaneously in your spirit, just as tolerance is natural for the spring that receives the stones that are cast into it. Love, and you will understand. Understand, and you will serve more and more each day, for you will dwell within the glory of the light, inaccessible to any incursion of the darkness. So, love, interesting concept. Everybody loves love. Everybody understands love. Everybody cares about love. Everybody talk about love. Everyone say, "Oh, I love you." But what is love, my friends? Let's start with Nadja. She's smiling. I love that smiling. So,
Yeah, I had this gut feeling that you're gonna ask me first, just because I said that it's a very difficult question. When you see the topic, oh, the power of love, yes, that's nice, and let's talk about love, but really, what is love? No. And it was funny to see that the video the finish with uh, a mistake, but not a mistake from Stevan. And the question was, "What do you want?" And that, I think it was an advert. Yeah, and the guy sitting on the sofa. And then the question was, "What do you want?" And then it just like triggered me this question. Like that's what everybody wants. That's love. And everybody is looking for love, is doing things for love, doing good things or bad things for love. And but like what do you really want? Yeah. And we are always searching for love, and we want to be loved, and want to give love. And this was one of the things that I wrote here, like we can only give what we have. So we have first to have love inside ourselves, and then we can be able to give to others, even those uh, women who are trying to conceive. And I do work a lot of with infertility now recently, acupuncture and infertility. And one question is, like why they cannot, one question in my mind also, no, not only in their minds, but why they cannot get pregnant if they want so much, no, to get pregnant. And then it comes to my mind, like, do they love themselves? Do they have enough love inside themselves to be able to give, no, this love to their baby, to be a mother, and to dedicate fully to this new being that is coming and being generated in their womb, and then to be in their lives forever. Um, and I had a phrase here in front of me that says that the way, the truth, and the only certainty for a new life is love. So for me, I think is a strong emotion that is a bond, is a connection, is freedom, is trust, and it's the high vibration that the highest, I think, vibration that we can um, emanate from us, that we can send to connect to our guardian angels, to our uh, family who members who have already discarnated, who are not here physically. And also is this vibration that can get to my dad who is in Brazil and I'm here in Lithuania, or to someone that I'm connected with my dogs. It's a very strong connection. I think probably the word that I would get for what is love is connection. And it's what we bring with us in this life to another life, to parallel lives. And that's what maybe for me tonight, that's what I want for tonight. That the question, what do you want? I want connection, and a connection with everybody and with everything, with the nature, through this powerful feeling or emotion or mental function that's called love. And I think I will pass on to maybe to L'amour, called Charles, to give his impression.
see, the ball's in your court.
Because, yeah, just the word L'amour, it just bring this feeling of love and romantic love, and it sounds good. It's a good vibration coming to my ears when I hear in French.
I have here two quotations that I was searching something as Nadja said, what will I have to say about love, my God? Because I know that connection between Jesus and love, because Jesus is love. Right? And the love, as says here Anthony Williams, love has the power to change everything. Yes, it's true. When you are a person that cultivate the power of love, means you overcome your challenges, difficulties, problems, uncertainty, etc., etc. You can do what you want to do because things that you cannot be possible to do now, you'll be in comfort that you have done your best. And love has the power to change everything. For me, it's true. And when I read the quotation from Jimi Hendrix that he says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. We are a piece of the world, a tiny grain of sand in the desert or beach. That if Elsa, feels the power of love inside myself, I am the one that makes peace. So if you make peace, I make peace, others make peace, so the world will be, will know peace. It's true. But when you love the power, love to be on the lights, love to be in the top of some companies, or you're the best one always, you don't think about the true love. You love the power. I love my car. I love my home. I love my etc. etc. No, that's not the love that we are talking about. The love that we are talking about tonight, or we'll talk about tonight, is the love that Jesus brought to us when the times was only slavery, power, richness, etc., etc. And Jesus brought the completely different way to live a better life. The power of love, charity, understanding. So the power of to live a better life first start inside ourselves. Inside ourselves means inside our family, our community, our society, so we can expand this humility, humbleness, everything linked that forms the true love. That I think, for me, is more or less like this way to talk.
Yeah. And you, Charles.
Yeah. Yes. So it's the most simple definition which has been given about love. Indeed, as Elsa and Nadja told already, has been given by Jesus. And what did he say? Love God above all, and love your neighbor as yourself. So it comes to what Nadja said. If you don't love yourself, it's of course you can hardly love anything else. But as soon as you love a little bit yourself, you have to love a little bit your neighbor. And this is exactly the message that Jesus transmitted. And then there are a lot of examples of this. For instance, do unto the others what you would like the others to do unto you, even if they don't, between brackets. So this is really the true love. And it is, as Elsa just told, the only way for happiness, the only way for a better world. And when we talk about charity, charity is the love in action. In other words, what is the true meaning of the word charity? This is a question 886 of the Spirit's book. It is benevolence for everyone, benevolence. So willing the good
Bleep,
for everyone.
bleep.
Indulgence for the imperfection of others. Why do we need indulgence? Because we are all imperfect. We all have still some misunderstandings, some imperfections with us. So we make mistakes, and without indulgence, how can we live together? So we need to have this indulgence to understand even the worst person, which are brothers in evolution, which did not yet understand the love. But even so, we have to love them. And then forgiveness of the injuries. For the same reason, since we are imperfect, we are doing wrong things. And if we don't have this forgiveness, 70 times, 7 times, as Jesus said as well, how can we live together? How can we build something together? And if you think the current world, everyone also by the materialistic view, we have only one life. When we die, we will be put in a box and then everything is finished. So let's make use a maximum of our life, even if we don't respect the rights of the others and so on. So materialism is really bringing the exact opposite of love, which is selfishness, which is also coming from pride. You think that you are more than the others. No. Love is exactly the opposite of all of this. And we could really. I will stop here because we could talk along about the subject, but it's better that maybe Silvia gives also her vision about this.
Yeah. And you, my dear Gibbons,
What is there
love
to
is in the
say
air over
after
there.
that? Absolutely. I just like to read a point, more or less completing what Charles been saying. That it's from the Gospel according to Spiritism, and it's chapter 11, to love your neighbor as yourself. And he says that love, in the true sense of the word, in the true sense of the word, is to be loyal, honest, and conscientious, and to do to others as we would have them do to us. Um, and it also says that uh, love is the thing that's given to us by God, that is putting to our hearts at the moment of creation, and is what connected us with every other living being in the universe. It's something really big there. It's the connection that we have. Is this thread, this golden thread that unifies everyone. But the spirits, they teach us as well that at the starting point when man was created and he started his evolution, first of all, he had instincts. And as he advanced, he progressed, he evolved. Those instincts became sensations. And as he bettered himself, as he evolved, as he progressed and became more aware, more conscientious, he developed sentiments. And there is several levels of sentiment, but and as we evolve and as we progress and as we become more and more intellectually and morally complete in some ways, then we will have love. And that is what condenses, and what he says, it condenses and reconciles all aspirations, that elevates mankind from, and not only the terrestrial mankind, but mankind throughout the universe, to its highest level of solidarity and charity. It's when it is replaced, selfishness is replaced by brotherly love and empathy. And that would be an end to exploitation and misery and poverty. So when we think about love, it's something almost to the point where we are now, almost beyond our power of understanding. This really, truly, to seeing each and every person a brother, someone who has the same needs as we have. And it's someone like us, is a child of God who struggles like we do, who suffers as we do, who have joys as we do. This is a very important understanding. But I think as well, I think what the Spirit teaches us is that it's not something that it goes immediately. It's something that we grow into it as we develop, as we make an effort to be better than we were before, as we learn, as we study and we learn and we give of ourselves, as we to the point in which we feel this connection with everything living. Sometimes it's almost unimaginable to feel this connection. I mean, we feel connections with people close to us, or with friends, with our family, or sometimes, even people we haven't even met, but because they do things that we appreciate and make us joyful, we have a connection with them. This connection of love is so incredible and so powerful. So I think, and as was said before, Jesus encompassed this universal love. He was able to, in the point of his greatest misery and pain, he was able to forgive because he could understand that was ignorance working through whatever happened. And also, I think he showed us in the last few minutes of his earthly life, he was able to understand and to show forgiveness to Peter, who was closest to his heart. Peter was one of his disciples, and he had said, "You are the rock." So he had that work, and Jesus also said to him, "You're going to deny me before the cock crows. You will deny me 3 times." And he did. He failed. Also, all the apostles run away, exception of John. All the others run away because they were scared. And of course, Judas betrayed Jesus for ignorance as well. I personally, I don't feel that Judas had any malice against Jesus. I don't think he did what he did for malice. His understanding, I think, was he didn't open his heart to understand what Jesus wanted. And one of the first things that Jesus did once he left he left his physical body was to actually go into the dark regions of the spiritual world to get Judas. His greatest point of forgiveness, to go and find someone who had betrayed him. And I think those kind of lessons are very, very important for us to meditate on, because how many times we make an effort to forgive someone who has offended us, simple things. And I think that's the lesson of love that Jesus left us. And, I think Charles quoted that passage from the gospel, that when this man came, this lawyer came to Jesus and said, "What is the greatest law?" And Jesus said, "Love God and love your neighbors yourself." So he put loving oneself as well, because if you don't respect yourself, you're not loyal to yourself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love anybody else. So those are points of lessons that we need to learn. Forgiveness to others is a great thing, because it's something very hard to do. You have to be very open and very conscious of what you're doing when you forgive someone who has hurt you, who has done something that opposes you, or who have really truly marked you in some way. So it requires a conscious effort on our part to let go of that. And it's important as well that we don't forget, because our minds will not forget it, but that thing will lose the weight of hurting us. And this forgiveness is not for others, it's for ourselves. So I think those Jesus that was love in the very sense of the word, he left us some lessons for us to learn how to love, because we cannot love if we don't know how to forgive. We cannot love if we don't know how to see in another being, whoever he is, a brother in need, someone that I find sometimes difficulty to see, especially when you see some crimes or something, and you feel so shocked. It's almost impossible to see that as another person in need of our understanding. But that person is, because the day they wake up to what they've done will be a day of great suffering for them. So I think from the moment that we start saying prayers and start sending positive thoughts for that person, will help them to reach that day quicker and to overcome it. And I think that that's the greatest love, is to learn forgiveness, is to learn to give of ourselves without wanting anything in return, and to really and truly see this unity that exists amongst every single being, be it animal, be it plant, be it another human being. Is the greatest gift we can give is of ourselves, of, a little bit of love, until we really come to the point that we do understand and we become love itself as well, because it's a destiny. That's how I feel. Thank you.
Yeah, my dear. It's good. Then this is I want to say, because uh, how to forgive and forget. Just love to explain. I want to say good night to Marco Davis. Thank you for being here with us, Marcos.
Steven, I was thinking quickly here about the the practice of the word love. That charity is the loving practice, as Charles pointed. And remembering Mother Teresa of Calcutta, when she was in the streets of Delhi and other cities in India, collecting people that were there to die. But she gave to them dignity to die. Yeah? Took them to their premises with other friends that in the same way help the poor, the ones that has nothing in their life, only some breathing of air, nothing more than that. And she took them into her arms, embraced them, hugged them, and helped them. Even when she went to the United States, helped the ones there with AIDS, loads of people with AIDS, with the same love. Who in the world does this kind of things today? If you have no the true love into your hearts, you are living what you have in your hearts. Paul of Paul and Friends of CC, and so many that we have, but so many, but you can count in your fingers sometimes. The true love life of some people. Albert Schweitzer into Africa, always related to the charity into practice. Love is a charity into practice, because I can do something, but if I think, oh, I put a barrier, it's not a true love. Love something that you go and do it without you even sometimes thinking about. If when you have someone with the virus or COVID or lepra or leprosy or other things. Yeah? So I was thinking about the way that a young girl, Teresa of Calcutta, made her life a living love, a Jesus. Jesus in 3 years, but she lived her entire life loving others. That is the best example that we have in my mind right now. Of course, Jesus is Jesus, but it came to my mind quickly the true living love, Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Chico Xavier, of course, other
Yeah.
example here, but someone that every day take people, that giving bath, people in the streets, people in the the most poverty, and giving love is something that is really, really big.
Yeah, we can see this message being sent to us even before Jesus came on earth. No, that's the golden rule. Charles likes to talk about the golden rule.
I did not catch your question, Steven. Sorry.
I'm saying the message of the golden rule is being given to us I don't know, centuries or years before Jesus came on earth.
Yes, I mean it's love is a law of nature, basically. So Jesus only came to recall it and to explain it in some forms that was understandable at that time. Today, of course, there is not a lot of change compared with what Jesus said, and which, by the way, as you told correctly, Stephen, this notion of love or do unto the other what you would like the others to do unto you. You can find this everywhere. You can find this not only in the gospel, you can find this in the Vedas, in the Buddhism, wherever you will find very similar statements. So it is simply something which is part of the laws of nature. Okay, and this is why, of course, Jesus came, expressed it in a very, very simple manner. huh? Sometimes the simplest thing are which take the longest time to be understood. It's 2,000 years ago already. And still, yet a lot of people do not understand it, are still in the selfishness, in the pride, and in the opposite violence and whatever. But okay, now we have the spiritist body of knowledge, the teachings. We see, we get the communication from the spirits after when they die, and now we can see by what they are saying to us, what they are bringing to us, that love is really the right track. It's really the right, how to say, the way, the quickest way to happiness. And happiness not only of the individuals, but as soon as it gets contaminating, in the good sense of the word, the humanity, then a lot of problems will be solved. A lot of because our societies is only the sum of the individuals which are composing this society. So we really have to go now to spread this notion of charity, because without love and without charity, which is love in action, uh, you can invent whatever type of society, whether it's right, left, or whatever. You will never get with people which are selfish. You will not get something which is working. So love is the only way for the happiness, and it can happen even from now in this in the world right now. So let's start and doing it. And Jesus, he gave the teachings about love, but not only. He also gave the example. And if we take, for instance, how to serve, Jesus gave this very nice lesson when a couple of days before he was put on the cross, he was washing the feet of his apostles, and the teaching he brought was, the one who wants to be the greater amongst you shall be the one which is serving you. And this is another way to serve without even awaiting anything in exchange, without even fearing any punishment if we do the opposite. It's really do the good for really doing the good, for really living in harmony with the laws of nature, and for speeding up towards happiness. And that is all the reasoning we can do right now about love.
Yeah, it is what our friend Robbie Brown wrote here. Love doesn't have expectations. So
The
There is
disinterested.
one thing here. Sorry. Go on,
Yes,
go
Charles.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, that is. It's just that in the gospel here, it says that love is a divine essence, and everyone, from the most humble to the most elevated, has a spark of the sacred fire at the bottom of their hearts. And then it says here, also goes on to say that no matter what is done, they will never succeed as to suffocating the living seed which God deposits within every heart at the moment of creation, and to the seed to develop and grow together morality and intelligence, even though sometimes it's repressed by selfishness, but it will grow. And then he goes on to say, talking about Jesus, it says, he says, do not believe in the sterility and hardening of the human heart, for even against its own will, it must give way to true love, which is like a magnet that's impossible to resist. Contact with true love revives and fertilizes the seeds latent in every heart. So I think this is something that cannot, even the people who may not love anybody else, but they love a dog, or they love other animals, or they love things, or they, like he says here, they may love something material, or they love plants or animals or something, because they don't like they don't like humanity. But everybody loves something. It's within each and every being in the universe, because it's something that was given to each and every one of us by God. So even though sometimes we don't use it, we're more selfish, but it exists within us, and this will never, ever be suffocated. It will have to sprout and grow and develop. So I think, what she says, don't think that the human heart, the sterility, because it will grow, it will come, and everybody has it. And that's a connection, I think, with God, with ourselves, with every living being. I think that's very wonderful in the gospel, according to Spiritism.
Yeah,
All we need is love.
yeah, and how to serve and not being abused by someone, how to serve to not be a puppet in someone's hands. Do you have an idea, Nadja?
Yeah, I was thinking about it because it depends on the situation, because as we've been saying here now, you can only give what you have. And if you're serving, but with heart, and you're doing because you love, because you want, because you think that you're going to help. So I think, in my opinion, of course, that
Who
is
is talking about? Who is
you're
this
not being
person?
abused. You're not being, being a puppet, but you're being doing your best and doing things with love. And then if the other person is treating you in a way that is, not kind and aggressive, or I think that's then is the person's consciousness that will be then, affecting him or her in the end. So we, as the text said, then love, and you understand, and then you serve and continue serving. So if you're doing your job, or if you're caring for someone, or um, even treating, like, taking care of a plant or an animal, or you're doing with your heart and with love, and then you won't feel abused, and you won't feel bad by doing it, because you're doing because you want it, because it makes you feel good, because it's this liberation of all these hormones that brings you even more feelings of well-being, and and in and happiness. No, that's what we're talking as well about. It's happiness. So if you love what you do and makes you feel happy, um, and I don't think you feel abused. But of course, as I said, depends on the situation. But I
Yeah.
think most of the time. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, Elsa, is this love your son, love your brother, love your sister, love your mom, love your dad? How to love those who are on the streets, those who came to do bad things for you in your life? How to love those people?
I think that my knowledge about the reincarnation means that if you are in your family and you should love each other, but sometimes members of your families fight with you all the time, all your life, and you open your heart and love someone else outside of your family, outside of your blood family, and it means that you are more close to someone else outside than someone in your family, and you are obliged to love someone in your family, tolerating, understanding, sometimes be quiet, write less, speak less, silence, and listen more, and don't fight back. This is a starting point of understanding to one day be loved. So, because love is an exercise, incarnation to incarnation, with your enemies that come to your family, and you together. And one day, this dissipate everything, and the true love will come. Because if you love outsiders, or love a car, or a house, or love something very special, or a ring that someone gave to you, and this love, but you don't like people, you love animals, but you don't love people, that is not the true meaning of love. Yes, it's love because you care. I love so much my little soul. He's here with me all the time, so close to me. I love him so much. I cannot imagine myself living without my little dog. You see, this is love. But I know that he is a dog. One day, millennia, 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 will be a human being. The spirit will evolve as well. The spirit will evolve as well. But it's difficult to really say that you love in the as Mother Teresa of Calcutta, inside your family or outside your family. No, I'm not in this position. I'm not in this level. I am the tolerant person. I try to be a better person, a better friend. I try. I don't know. The eyes of other people are seeing me, what I'm doing, if I'm really a good person. So the others, criticism, etc., comes to help us. But I don't really know that I am the person to say something that I love, true love. I love my children. I love my members of my family. But I know members that are so difficult really to live together. But I have to live together. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And um, this is an open question. Let's say a couple, they are dating, they are intent to be married, and this young lady loves her fiance so much, but she doesn't feel the same thing. And she looked at him and say, I love you so much, which I will free you now. Go and be happy. Is this love, or is this an excuse?
I didn't quite understand saying the fiance didn't like her as much,
No, the fiance loves
or she was the one who didn't like them.
no, the partner didn't like her.
Well, I think
I'm saying
that was true love, isn't it? Because if she
yeah, yeah,
felt that the person doesn't like them enough, so he said, I love you very much and I want you to be happy. And your happiness is not with me. Go and find someone that loves you better or you love better. I think this is pure love, and it's very rare to find, I think, if
yeah,
I
because
understood well what you were
we
trying,
no, no,
your
you
concept
understood
there.
correctly. You understood correctly, because we are saying here, when you love, you want that thing for you. You know what I mean? When
No,
unfortunately, no, unfortunately, we do a mistake. Love for us means possession. My
that's not
love,
love
my
then.
car, my this, my mine, mine, mine. So, which we need to start to stop saying mine. You know, what do you think, Nadja? You say something?
I totally agree with both. No? We have to stop. It's because we are attached, no? And attachment is the reason for our sufferings. So when we detach, then we don't suffer, and we then learn how to love. The real love. The real love is freedom, no? It's liberation, and uh, I think there's a little bit of this connection of our brain with our chemicals that gives us this kind of addiction. No? So when we feel this love, when by touch, by when the mother is breastfeeding, for example, and then most of people know that there is a lot of oxytocin in her blood system. So then she wants this connection even more. So she wants this feeling of love and being loved. No? Or when we are, feeling the sun in our body, so we also feel this well-being, this a lot of serotonin in our body. So, and then it's a chemical reaction as well. So then we get that's what happens with drug addiction. No? They get the chemicals and they want more because they have a very good feeling. And then when we feel this kind of connection, but in kind of like attachment, then we want more and we need more and we want more and we're not never happy because we want even all the time more. So when we learn to let it go, to not attach, but knowing that this feeling of love is universal without borders and limitless. And we don't need to get attached because we won't lose it because we have so much and we can give and we won't miss it. And the other person will feel it and will know that this is a true love. That's, I think, what probably dogs, because I love dogs, so I have to say that that's what they give to us. It's a lot of love. I think we all here have dogs, and maybe Silvia don't, but I'm sure she loves dogs as well. And that's what we receive from them, this pure love and this connection. And no matter how was your day, how bad was your day, when we receive this love, we relax. So then it's a good feeling. um, but then we get attached because we want more, and it's a part of our evolution to learn how not to be attached anymore. And then we don't suffer. And so, but it is, of course, as Elsa said, we need more time and we do our best, but we need more reincarnations probably to learn how to love unconditionally.
Yeah. Thank you, Nadja. So thank you, Robbie and Marcos. They are putting a lot of good things here, saying good quotations. And thank you for your contribution, my friends. And I just want to say I love you all. Thank you very much.
And
It's
love can heal. No?
yeah,
Love
love
can
can
heal.
heal.
Love
Exactly.
can heal. Yeah.
Yeah. And the love is in the air.
And love in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and
So
it's interesting. Do you know what? One piece of interesting thing, when they had the first satellite uh, emission in the back in the 60s, the first time they would unite go to television centers all over the world. They chose from England. They chose to play some music, and they chose a John Lennon song, the Beatles song, the Lennon McCartney, but I think it was more Lennon. All You Need Is Love. That was the part that they had here in England for everybody when they connected for the first time, through the satellites, and has become like a hymn, isn't it? All you need is love. Love is all you need.
yeah.
All you need is love, love, love.
Love is all we need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let's
and they
go to
had,
our announcements here. So
okay.
next week, yes, we do have a theme, a topic for next week already. How can I see and perceive God? Interesting one. Interesting one. Um, we will have on the 26th, is this Saturday, the European gathering at 7 o'clock p.m. here in Ireland, in London. And the topic, the topic of the spirit is psychology. So,
Com o Dr. Gelson,
yeah,
viu?
it's too
Gelson
small for
Luiz.
me to read here. Yeah, Dr. Gelson Roberto. So, and
And
our
I'll be
friend,
the interpreter.
you will be the one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's love. Thank you. So also a healing course. Silvia gonna give a healing course in Bournemouth for our friends from the Pool Christian Spiritualist Church. So if you want to register, please contact our friend Fabrício Assunção in Bournemouth, and don't miss the opportunity to stay with Silvia. Els and Silvia already came to Ireland, like, I don't know, more than 4 or 5 times giving this course, and always we learn something new. Time to talk. This week we had a show, so next week we will not have, but the following one we will have. So with Guilherme Dias and Rafael Caldas, please don't miss that. Also, every Saturday we do have the Mediums book course. The mediators are Guilherme Dias, Munir Gariba, and Charles at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. Study of the book Nosso Lar every other week as well, from 8 to 9 p.m. London time. And the meeting ID and passcode is in your screen, so please don't feel free to join the group, the study group, anytime. And this is it. So I want to say thank you all. Thank you for all the contribution. Merci, Charles.
Merci.
Merci.
Boa
Say
noite.
thank you,
Bye-bye.
Nadja, in Lithuanian.
Labayacho. Acho? Obrigado.
Labayacho.
Thank you.
Labayacho.
Thank you very much. Labayacho.
Yeah.
Labayacho.
Yeah. Thank you, Marco Davis. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone, because I saw a lot of people today in our live. Love is unify people, and this live was a expression of this. So thank you very much.
Thank
I'll
you
see
all.
you all
God
next
bless you
week.
all.
Enjoy your rest of day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. God bless. Ciao.